Hey everybody. Somebody passed me this interesting article from the same site that I got that other one for you guys. It's called Thought Forms, and it's by Annie Besant and C.W. Leadbeater once again. It's really interesting about this. I want to read some stuff for you here real quick. I haven't gotten too far through it, but I wanted to show you something that kind of confirms some of the things that I've been saying. And I'm going to start with the second paragraph here. There's lots to read, so I just want to give you a taste of what I'm talking about here. It says, one of the most interesting of the high roads from the physical to the astral is that of the study of thought. The Western scientist, commencing in the anatomy and physiology of the brain, endeavors to make these the basis for a sound psychology. He passes then into the region of dreams, illusions, hallucinations, and as soon as he endeavors to elaborate an experimental science which shall classify and arrange these, he inevitably plunges into the astral plane. Dr. Baraduc of Paris has nearly crossed the barrier and is well on the way towards photographing astro-mental images, to obtaining pictures of what, from the materialistic standpoint, would be the results of vibrations in the gray matter of the brain. Well, listen to this next part here. It has long been known to those who have given attention to the question that impressions were produced by the reflection of the ultraviolet rays from objects not visible by the rays of the ordinary spectrum. Clairvoyants were occasionally justified by the appearance on sensitive photographic plates of figures seen and described them as present with the sitter, though invisible to physical sight. So what it's saying here is the impressions that these clairvoyants have had were on a different spectrum than the visual spectrum. In this case, the ultraviolet. Well, now let me show you something really quickly. Okay, here's our visible light spectrum right here. All right. And what it's basically saying is that, in the case right here, that it was the impressions were produced by the reflection of ultraviolet rays from objects not seen from the ordinary spectrum. And right here, so they're saying ultraviolet. So this is what's really interesting about this is there's a combination of the two. Let me show you real quick. We go to my channel real quick, and let's take a look at something. What we're looking at right here is we're looking at the infrared view of the Orion Nebula. And so what we have learned so far is that every time we look in these churches, okay, for example, when you see this, get it to load, okay, when you take a look at these images, these are all infrared images. But what's happened is these trapezium stars makes everything glow from their ultraviolet radiation. Okay, so we have a combination of an infrared view, ultraviolet radiation, which you cannot see in a regular image of the Orion Nebula. For example, as you can see, these. Okay, this right here is the Orion Nebula in infrared. This is normal. Okay, and this. All you see in these churches, you always see the infrared view of the Orion Nebula, which means it's not in our visible spectrum. And if you can see, you can tell that this does not look like this at all, and you cannot find these same images right here in a normal picture of the Orion Nebula, but you can always find them, as I've shown you so far. Every picture inside these churches shows you an infrared view of the Orion Nebula, which is outside of the visible spectrum. And so when we come back over here and it says, it's long been known to those who have given attention to the question that impressions were produced by the reflection of ultraviolet rays from objects not visible to the ordinary spectrum, then what it's showing you right here is this has something to do with clairvoyancy. This has something to do with people who are actually having visions. And the visions, apparently, when they have them, are outside of the visible spectrum, which is exactly what I have mentioned several times when I said, why are these people always seeing these visions in the infrared spectrum? So when people have visions, they have visions in a spectrum different from the visible light spectrum. Now, it's my guess that they probably have visions that exist in probably the regular visible spectrum additionally. And then additionally, they have it from the other. I don't think that their visions are limited to the visible spectrum. But this is really interesting because this right here is backing what I thought. Now this was probably produced in the 1915s, 1920s, somewhere around in there. But here it is, backing up what I thought so far. When people have visions, and when they draw these things and they paint these things, they are seeing things that are in a different spectrum.